Humber Sceptre. That's my Volvo 240 estate. Beautiful Aston Martin DB5 from 1966 on a Now here is something I have seen before but not for a while. Looks very, very original. And over here, Ford Cortina Mark III. Lovely to see a bit of pre-war metal here. There's that super Mark I Ford console. I don't see too many yellow ones of these around.
So all the vehicles, Volkswagen Beetle.
Look at that. A little two-stroke Saab 96. Pretty wild looking car. I remember these when they were current back in the 1970s.
Took me eye when it first drove in. Just lovely.
We're going to have a closer look at these incredible American spec bumpers. Welcome to the Old Classic Car channel. Today we are at a slightly breezy Capesthorne Hall for the first classic car show here of 2025. In the background is a wonderful Hudson. What other wonderful classic cars will turn up? Well, we'll just have to wait and see. I think we'll split this video into two halves, get some of the arrivals as they come in here, and then I'll have a wander around and take a closer look at some of my favourite cars parked up. Look at this wonderful Hudson here, 1947, same year as our ancient old pickup truck back at base. Okay, we are up near the entrance now. What do we see here? A Fiat Uno Turbo IE. Not every day you see one of those. Followed by a Ford Escort convertible, XR3i, a Lotus behind that, and a Series 3 Daimler XJ behind that. That's a very early Series 3 on a T registration. Jaguar is the featured marque today, so I'm wondering if that'll be parking up in front of the main hall here at Capesthorne. Jolly nice colour as well. I'm guessing that's a 4.2. Very smart Series 3. Yeah, Daimler Sovereign 4.2. So the Series 3 was a Pininfarina reskin of the previous Series 2. Yeah, I think there will be Jaguars here today, old and not so old. Obviously I'll try and feature a little bit of everything, but as always I will be concentrating mainly on the older cars, older Jaguars, etc., including this lovely Series 3 V12 Jaguar E-Type. What a belter that is. 5.3 V12. Mini hotly pursued by Reliant Coupe, the little GT there, fiberglass body, great looking car. Hot on the heels of the Volvo estate is a Triumph Dolomite Sprint. Hope you can hear me okay. It's a very, very breezy day today. And a little rubber bumper MG Midget behind that. There's that incredible 58 Buick, followed by Toyota MR2 Mark II and a BMW 3 Series. Looks like a 325i, I guess. First MGB of the day. Super little Alpine A110 follows the Triumph TR6. Little BMW 3 Series compact, one of the little shorter hatchback versions. Later Beamer. 5 Series down here, one of the facelifted versions of the E34 5 Series. A handsome looking car. That one, the 525i, so 2.5. Fuel injected engine in that one. Another lovely 3 Series there. Good looking car, I think, and that is followed by a Rovers 75 Estate. Like I say, I'll try to film a bit of everything coming in here today, and then I'll have a mooch around and just focus on the cars that really stand out to me here today at Capesthorne Hall. Lovely 5 Series, the 528i, I like that. followed by the 8 Series Coupe. Those two are often seen together at these shows. Fantastic. And ooh, XJR, very, very nice. Yeah, and the supercharged XJR, the V8 power car, 4 litre V8. Here's a car you don't see all that often, a Humber Scepter. That is very cool. That is a really nice car. So that was a posh version of the Hillman Super Minx. Good to see that here. Nice to see some 50s and 60s cars here today, hopefully. That's a 66 registered car, followed by second XR3i Cabriolet of the day and a Ford Fiesta XR2 Mark II. That's a homage to the racing Aston Martins of the 1950s. It's a Triumph 1300 front wheel drive. We have one of BMC's finest, the Austin Healey Sprite Mark I. Very nice roof down, good to see. And a Triumph Dolomite, hot on its heels as well. A lovely Jaguar S-Type there. Is it a 3.4 or 3.8? That is the 3.4. The Jaguar 3.4S. I'm sure I'll see that later in front of the main hall as well. Very smart Porsche 944. I spy Volvo 240 Estate. Another slice of the 1950s here. Very nice Ford Consul Mark I. Happy memories of the old boy who used to live next to us back at home when I was a youth. He had one of those brush painted white. Ford Sierra XR4i burbling in, V6 engine under the bonnet of that one. Beautiful Aston Martin DB5, what a cracking car. XJS convertible. Quite a gaggle of cars coming in now. MGTF, MG Magnet, semaphore indicator raised. And from this direction, a gaggle of latest Jaguars, X-Types, XK8s, but I do see a Mark II back up there with an XJS behind it. It's a lovely Mark II. Great little Thames van there, the 307E, Another Triumph Dolomites. Good to see a few of these out and about today. I see too many Austin ambassadors out and about now. Next to head over the cattle grid is a lovely Mustang. What a beauty in black. Followed by Vauxhall Nova and Ford Cortina Mark II. Looks like a 1600E. Jaguar XJS facelift coupe. A pair of Mustangs, one in 1966, the other somewhat newer. Here comes the later example, keeping the name alive. Very, very late example of MGB Roadster. Whole gaggle heading towards me now. I think I better move. Ooh, it's a great little Morris Minor 1000 from 1966 on a deregistration, two-door car. What a belter. There's the Lovell telescope in the background at Jodrell Bank. So what do we have here then? It is a Ford Thunderbird. Wow, what an incredible car that is. Marque SLK behind that. Ford Escort RS 2000 blending into the scenery. Super little Morris Minor there. Make that two super Morris Minors. Great little Mini Cooper. Second Nissan Figaro we've seen of the day, based on the Nissan Micra. There is a Toyota MR2 Mark III close behind, and an MGB GT V8. So that's got the Rover 3.5 litre engine, very similar to that fitted in the Rover P5B. And ooh, what's this here? We have a somewhat modified Thames 300E van. Cars of all shapes and sizes arriving here today at Capesthorne Hall. There's a late 67 or early 68 Triumph TR behind that. Is it a 4A or is it a TR5, I wonder? One of the late chrome bumper MGB Roadsters behind that. But yeah, TR looks fantastic in black. Do like that a lot. Great looking car. Yeah, it is a 4A. A 59 Cadillac. Wowzers. What an incredible looking car that is. Two-door caddy. Where did I see a four-door one of those? Last weekend down at the Rutland Showground there was a four-door one of those, and this week I get to see a two-door. Perfect. Complete the set. And in our favourite colour, a Fiat Punto GT no less. Must be a rare old girl now. Escort behind that. Very modified. What's that behind? Not quite sure what that is. Looks like some special import job. A Toyota of some description. X300, the XJ6 Jaguar. The Metro Vandenplas with the extra bit of trim on the grille and the stripes. Ford console Mark II. Yeah, lovely to see these established classics coming in here now. And the Morris Minor 1000 two-door beauty in Old English white. 5 Series BMW. XJS. What model of Fiat are we looking at here? It's a pretty swish looking car. Is that a 124? Looks like a 124 coupe, I think. There's a Mazda Unos, very similar shape to our car. That's a Japanese market car that's been brought over here in more recent times. And here we have a Triumph Herald 1200 BMW E36 Cabriolet alongside that. Yeah, what a beauty this is. 1967 is the date of this lovely Triumph Herald. Very, very smart car indeed. M100 series of Lotus Elan with very appropriate registration number. And on its tail, one of several aluminium bodied Jaguar XJs, the X350s that I've seen today. Bentley behind that. With the XJS convertible, Capri 3 litre S negotiates its way around Browns Lane's finest. In fact, quite the gaggle of Ford Capris pulling in now. Not seen any Mark 1s or Mark 2s I don't think as yet, but I'm sure we will do before the day is over. Heading down the other lane, Triumph TR6. And just behind that, another example of MGB GT V8. Very nice. Sounds like it's supercharged, that 3 litre S. Could be wrong, but it did sound pretty cool. Wolseley 1500, Maestro in the foreground. Toyota of the 1990s. What's that? Carina, perhaps? I think. Is that Carina? Camry. Oh dear. Back to school. Anyway, let's get back to slightly older cars and a glorious Jaguar Mark II in the Curiacos Blue. Souped up Anglia. Ooh, next rolling into the grounds here at Capesthorne Hall. This wonderful bright red Ford Zodiac Mark III. Good to see one of the finned Zodiacs here. Zodiac, top of the tree, just above the Zephyr. Yeah, it's pretty cool to see that one here today. Behind the Zodi, we have 911 and a 2.8 Capri behind that. The Porsche is next to negotiate the speed hump of doom. BMW Z3M, ooh, nice, lovely colour as well. Taking it very easy over the hump, as is the Ford Capri. Same for the Lotus, make that 2 Lotuses, very low cars, you'll be taking that very cautiously, even I was holding my breath. Yep, field is filling up quite nicely now. We have a Jaguar E-Type Series 2, 2+2, with the extra marker lamps on the wings, which makes me think it's probably an American import job, this one. Plenty of ground clearance though, no problem with this speed hump of doom today. Toyota MR2 Mark 1, looming large in its mirrors, a fantastic Bedford CA camper, wow. And a fab little Mini behind that. Now the Zodiac is on the move now. What a treat to see that classic 60s Ford here today. MGB and VW, is that a Jetta behind it? Pretty cool, booted version of the Golf really. Air-cooled 911 behind that. Very tasty indeed. Somewhat modified Ford Pop. Not sure I've seen that one before. And another little Thames 307E van. What a belter, very clean that is. Quite low. Got a great stance, I believe that's the phrase.
Carburetor intake system, so quite a cool little van that.
A particularly fine Jaguar XK140 fixed head coupe in a lovely, lovely, very, very dark maroon, almost black, but not quite. That is, yeah, what a beauty that is.
It's got the almost 1950s racing car head of the engine, and it's probably been tuned up in other places as well. It's so.
Number of Merc 190Es here today. Tomorrow is Mercedes-Benz as a featured marque. Like I say, today it's Jaguar. Well, we've had examples of Series 3 and Series 2 Jaguar E-Type already, and here we have a lovely 1966 Series 1, or probably technically a Series 1.5 with the 4.2. Lots and lots of these aluminium bodied XJs here today. Audi TT. Wolseley 1500 to the left, Triumph GT6 to the right. Lovely looking car. Saw this one at Gawsworth Hall, I think. Very tasty. And behind it, an equally immaculate Wolseley 1500, fairly early one with a small side light. Hello. There is a follow of the Old Classic Car YouTube channel in the Wolseley, so big thank you for that. Thanks for supporting the channel. Thanks to everyone that watches our videos for supporting the channels. If you haven't subscribed, please think about subbing, because it really helps keep the channel afloat. Yeah, 2 great British classics there. Alfa Romeo, sounds like a V6, the Busso V6 engine under the bonnet. There have been lots of these X100 series Jaguar XK8s and XKRs here today as well. Whisper quiet. Maybe not quite so quiet is this super little Fiat 500. That one's on an L red, so early 1970s that one, an incredible special built up from Austin 7 and many, many other parts. We saw that one at Gawsworth and somewhere else as well. Ford Escort Mark II. Ford Fiesta XR2 Mark II, and then, look at that Porsche behind. That looks pretty purposeful. It actually rides quite high compared to some of the cars we've seen here today, so no trouble with the speed hump of doom. And a Super Alpha GTV, I do like these. Some were 4-cylinder, some were the GTV6. That's got the 2.5 V6 in it, which was the Bond film that had Roger Moore driving one of those spiritedly. That's my abiding memory of the GTV6. The stunning VW Beetle, is that Polaris Silver, I think? It is really nice, that one. And over in the distance I spy Audi 100 alongside Triumph Stag. Here comes the Audi 100. Is it the Avant Estate or is it the 100 Saloon? I'm not quite sure from here, but back in the 1980s, aerodynamics and CD factors were all the rage. I think these were sort of 0.30 CD, something like that. And here we have V8 powered Triumph Stag of the 1970s. Kit car behind that, very similar looking to the MGTF. I think that's a Gentry. Behind that we have a Ford Thunderbird, somewhat older than the other T-Bird that we saw earlier on. Yeah, lovely looking car. That's a 1957. Another Mark III Ford Zodiac. Wowzers. Another beauty there. Pair of VW campers, split window from 1966, leads, slightly later bay window from the 1970s. And a great little round wheel arch midget behind that. OCC and car traction stickers proudly displayed in the window, so thank you for that. Link to merch in the video description, of course. That's a great way of supporting the channel if you'd like us to carry on doing these videos. Another lovely Moggy.
When we were at Tesco, everybody got in the car and started.
Ooh, an intriguing little kit car over there. Is that 2CV power or something else? Sounds like a 2CV. The sun is making an appearance. Rover 200 series behind the RS 2000. Ford Escort Mark 1 Mexico. Jaguar XJ Series 3. Yeah, very nice indeed. V12 as well, it's quite a late one. There's a little Nissan Cherry Europe. And an MGF with hardtop behind that.
Okay, mate.
Bit of last minute car detailing going on over here. Putting us to shame. We're here in the trusty Mark 1 MX-5 today. Two different generations of MGB GT alongside each other here. Got a later rubber bumper car here, and you can see the difference in ride height between this and the chrome bumper car that came earlier. It was a bit of a regulations thing, I think, to get the headlights up to a particular height, so the cheapest way of doing it was simply to raise the car up a bit. And that's when they raised the ride height at the same time as fitting these rubber safety bumpers, mainly for the American market, I think. Ooh, another delectable Mark II, very wide wheels on that one. Cutaway rear arches as well. I do love the look of that. What a beauty, 3.8. Yeah, it's got the cutaway Coombs type rear arches on that one as well. That is a beauty. I'm guessing that'll be going down to park in front of the old hall. Another example of the Jaguar XJ8 over there. With a bright yellow Triumph Spitfire 1500, complete with a steel factory hardtop. Interestingly, it's a left-hand drive. Oh, it's got the American spec bumpers on it as well. I hadn't noticed that. Never seen this one before. Yeah, look at those safety bumpers fitted to that. So it's still got the original safety bumpers on the back, and indeed on the front. It's quite a rare sight, that is. Never seen that one before. Yeah, pretty cool. Yeah, never seen that set of bumpers before. Oh, there's a VX 220, the Vauxhall VX 220. Behind the VX 220 we have Rover 600. Not too many of those around now. There is one that colour that we do see local to us in regular use, but it's probably the only one in our area now. Pretty unusual. And there's a great mid-50s Chevrolet behind that. What an incredible looking car that is. The old Bel Air.
All want to part together?
There's a pretty groovy Mark 1 Escort in black. Austin Healey 3000 on beaver tail truck. Very smart little Mini Clubman there. A nice set of wheels on it and BL mud flaps as well. Somewhat larger than the Bedford CA camper that arrived just a little while ago. This one based on a Ford, a Jamboree no less. So, the Jamboree Rally left-hand drive. Now here is something I have seen before but not for a while. A super rare Chevrolet Corvair panel van. Hey, what a fantastic machine. So there's an air-cooled flat 6 under the rear floor in that. Wow. MR2 Mark III, and in hot pursuit, Triumph Herald 1360 convertible. And casting quite the shadow is this incredible late 60s Chrysler. Looks very, very original. Original paint, we like that kind of thing. Maybe these badges on the side will tell us what it is. It says Chrysler 300. Burbly, 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 but very, very original. Look at that. That's pretty cool. S-Type Jaguar behind that. Now, which one's this one? 3.8S. So that was an evolution, a development of the Mark II. Slightly longer tail, very different styling when you look closely, but most importantly, independent rear suspension. The Bondi keep behind that. With a 6-cylinder Triumph running gear under that swoopy fiberglass bodywork. There was a lovely 6-cylinder Rover P4 here, with quite the gaggle of badges on the front. What a lovely looking car that is. Two-tone green. Chrysler on the move. Very tidy 64 Riley Elf on a slightly wider Cooper S rims. Very agreeable. And behind that a Rover 800. Another example of the Jaguar E-Type 2+2 Series 2. You can tell from the front because of the higher roof line. And it's got that extra strip down the top of the doors. And ooh, look at that. Little Dino. Technically not a Ferrari Dino, but built by Ferrari, and well, Ferrari in everything but name really, but yeah, glorious little Dino. The Rally spec Lancia Delta HF Integrale. Memories of Didier Auriol and Juha Kankkunen rallying those in the early 1990s. Lots of engine going on in the rear of this pretty impressive Metro 6R4 rep. So what engine is that? It's a Ford Duratec V6 engine in there. Right, so I've been advised that it is now bagel time, which seems like an eminently good idea. So go and grab one of those and then see if there's any other cars arriving here today. Next gliding into view is this incredible Ford Fairlane. That's from 1957. Oh, there's a lovely Volvo 122S here. Slightly wider steel wheels, original pattern, but wider, slightly wider rims on that one, which look very, very purposeful indeed. But yeah, great, very, very usable car those are, especially if it's got the overdrive gearbox as well, which makes it a lot more long-legged, especially on a longer trip. But yeah, it's a great looking car, that one. Ooh, I spy something pre-war here today. First one here today at Capesthorne. Great little late 1930s Austin 10 Cambridge.
Is that a big 7 or a 10?
It's a 10 Cambridge.
10 Cambridge, I thought it was a 10.
Wartime Jeep passes the Saab 95 V4.
Just post-war, but not nor pre-war nor post-war is this wartime old Jeep.
That's pretty cool. Ooh, look at this, a little bull-nosed Saab, lights ablaze, little two-stroke, 3-cylinder engine under that swoopy bonnet. What a great little car that is. What a beauty. Ooh, there is an auto jumble here today, and also a few bits and bobs for sale in front of exhibiting cars. The V12 V-Type, this one a 2+2, taking it very easy over another speed hump of doom. Oof, that's claimed another victim. Behind that, great little Morris 1300. Here we have a Ford Capri 2. I was wondering if we'd see one of the slightly earlier Ford Capris. It's a 3-litre S, this one. The V6 engine under the bonnet. There are classic Jaguars in front of the Capesthorne Hall itself, and indeed a huge gaggle over here. Many different ages, models, designs, that kind of thing. So I think it's probably time to start having a look around some of the parked up cars. And like I said at the very beginning of this video, rather than try and feature a quick look at everything that's here, I'm just going to take a little bit longer and focus on the cars that really stand out to me here today at Capesthorne Hall. Just to vary things a little bit, and here's that gorgeous Mark II Jaguar on painted silver wire wheels. Still got the full-size spats on the back, many have been replaced. This is a 3.8 with Coombs of Guildford sticker in the back window, very famous supplier and indeed modifier of Jaguars in the 1960s. This is a lovely looking car, probably the best colour as well. Quite the assortment of older classics here on the Cheshire Classic Car Club stand. Got a Series 1 E-Type here and this super little Austin A35. I think this is the only A35 we've seen here today. Beauty in black, two-door with sun visor. Just go around here. There's a forward control comma. This one pops up at several of the events we get to, Capesthorne, Gawsworth Hall, etc. It's always a treat to see a light commercial out and about. The console Cortina, the Lotus Cortina, the early one with the A-frame suspension. Well, this is a regular here on the channel. It's always nice to see this one out and about because you don't see many of these around. Most of them seem to be racing nowadays. But the race cars, the race prep cars, you see at Goodwood and all those sort of places, very, very modified compared to a road-going car like this one. This is a real beauty, this one. What else catches my eye down here? Let's see. Ooh, another Mark II. That's a 3.4. Honda S2000, the Lotus XL, and this incredible Chevy Monte Carlo SS. Now that really is an unusual car. It's always good to see the unusual stuff at some of these shows that we get to. I don't think I've ever seen this one before. Pretty wild looking car, very, very rare sight here in the UK as well. The silver and black plates give you and think that it makes you think that it's a little bit older than perhaps it is. It's early 1980s, that one. Always great to see this fantastic DB5 at the shows that we sometimes get to. We've seen this one at Woodford and at Gawsworth Hall. Beautiful car. I had quite a lengthy chat with the long-term owner of this fantastic car just a couple of years ago at one of the Avro Heritage meetings at Woodford. Yeah, it's a lovely, lovely car. He's had it since I think it's the early 1970s he bought this, repainted it several decades ago, and it's still looking just sensational. Over here, the Ford Cortina Mark III, the GXL. You can always tell these coming towards you because they have the 4 round headlights, telling you it's one of the more upmarket versions of the Mark III Cortina. It's also got metallic paint and the shiny little trims around the wheel arches, all that kind of thing. Vinyl roof, which is de rigueur for one of the posher Fords back in the 1970s. All very plush in there. Probably can't see in there too easily through the window, but you get the idea. Definitely one of the plusher Cortinas. Lots of modern Jaguars at this classic car show, so we won't be featuring those in this particular video because the channel is all about classic cars. Here we go. Here is a classic Jaguar, a 3.8S. So you could get 3.4 or 3.8. Some are manual overdrive, some are automatic. Yeah, pretty cool. So you can see how these were based upon the Mark II, but very different tail, roof lines different, front's different as well with these hooded headlights. So yeah, you can see how this is an evolution of the Mark II. Yeah, I actually do love these hooded lamps on the S-Types. I think they look really nice. Yeah, very different car though. Like I said before, independent rear suspension on these. So yeah, by all accounts, a really good car to drive. And I actually quite like the look of. Not everyone is sold on the shape of these. Some people say it's a bit heavy, this bit here with the very low cut wheel arch. It makes it quite heavy around there, but I don't mind it at all. I think they look really quite nice. Lots and lots of curves going on, which is always a good thing. Yeah, really cool to see this S-Type here. And next to the S-Type is this glorious XK140 fixed head coupe. What a belter that is. Got cam covers off a C-Type on it. Jaguar Type C. The C-Type, or the XK120C, was the sports racer designed very much with Le Mans in mind. This is the 140 that replaced the 120.
I knew it was somebody else doing it, and I knew it was somebody else.
Jaguar Type C cam covers. Beautiful under there. Stunning dark maroon colour. A bit more room in these. I think they moved they either extended the wheelbase a little, or I think they moved the engine forwards a little bit in these compared to the 120s, just to give a bit more interior space, because the 120 was criticised a little bit in period for being just a little bit too cosy for the driver and the passenger. So there were a few modifications when the 140 came along, bigger bumpers as well compared to the 120. Yeah, still wonderful, wonderful looking car. Series 2 E-Type here, the 2+2. So like I was saying, higher roofline on the 2+2s, longer wheelbase as well. And there's extra strip on the top of the door. Differentiates it from the other models in the E-Type range. And there are the little rear, probably can't see, but there are some tiny little rear seats in there. So they are a little bit more practical. And if you're a fan of wearing a top hat, you would certainly find benefit from the higher roofline in these particular cars. So yeah, this is the Series 2. It's on a G plate. There's always going to be a few E-Types here today, that's good to see. And it's good to see different eras of E-Type as well. Series 1, Series 2 and the V12 Series 3s. There's a second very, very similar example just parked over here. There's another stunning Mark II over here. This one on a B-Reg, 1964, finished in dark green. And this one does have the cutaway rear arches, the Coombs style rear arches. So this is a 3.8. Slightly later than the one over there we were looking at a moment ago, but virtually identical really. The only big changes came along when the 340 and the 240 run-out models took over from the Mark II. Technically there was never a 380, although rumour has it there were one or two built by the factory, maybe to special order. But this is the original, the Mark II. Like I was saying before, when I was looking at the S-Type over the back over there, you can see how that car is an evolution of the Mark II. Which do you prefer? Let me know in the comments. Lovely dark green colour, this one. Really sets the chrome off a treat. Stunning interiors as well. This one's got a wood rim motor litre wheel replacing the original steering wheel, but otherwise looks to be fairly standard. Like I say, these rear arches are slightly different compared to how it would have rolled out of the Browns Lane factory back in the 1960s. It was the E-Type Series 3 that saw the debut of the Jaguar V12 engine, which shortly afterwards was also installed into the XJ body shell to create the Series 1 XJ12. But the engine made its debut in the Series 3 E-Types, Roadster and the fixed head. Now most of the older cars that are here today at Capesthorne Hall are in this kind of quarter of the field. As you go further away the cars get newer and newer, so I think I'll be spending most of my time here looking at the cars in this area, beginning with this great little Humber Sceptre. You see so few of these around now. Like I said, this was a spec'd up version really of the Hillman Super Minx, still with the wraparound rear screen and the curvier roofline. They did change that on slightly later examples. It's got the well-known Route 1725cc engine, which also made its way under the bonnet of the Sunbeam Alpine. Hopefully you can still hear me okay. Yeah, quite a sporty, well-equipped car, lots and lots of instrumentation on these as well. So it's really nice to see these increasingly obscure cars still turning up at events like this. How many of you watching this video remember maybe owning a Humber Sceptre or indeed the Hillman Super Minx? It's always great to read your comments, so if any of these cars ring a bell with you or stir up memories, please pop a note in the comments and let us know more, because yeah, it's always really neat to read what you think about the cars that feature in these videos here on the Old Classic Car channel. Here's that super little Triumph 1300 TC, the front wheel drive Triumph, and another S-Type alongside that. Yeah. Great to see so many classic Jaguars here today. This is definitely my favourite corner of the field. The Austin Healey Sprite Mark 1. Great little economical, affordable-ish, certainly back in the day anyway. Little sporty car. A-series engine under that lift-up bonnet. There's that super Mark 1 Ford console. And a couple of very tasty badges on the front. AA for the Automobile Association. And there's a badge that I've got on the front of Big Dodge, the RAC Motorsport Members badge, which is not a rare sight, not a common sight even now. But yeah, really neat to see this one still on its original registration with the original Blumels plates. So we like that kind of thing. So yeah, so the plan is I'll spend a bit more time looking at the cars that really stand out to me here today, rather than trying to feature everything. A pretty rare car to see now. Looks like a nicely restored one, this, re-chromed presumably at some point in time. Yeah, the original Blumels plates. Yeah. We like that kind of thing.
So it'll be a little bit further away.
4 classic Morris Minors parked up together along here.
Here comes the sun. Here comes the sun.
Actually make that 5.
Mine's definitely a work in progress.
Yeah, this Austin A60 Cambridge was registered originally in North Wales. The JC part of the registration number tells us that. And I remember we used to go on holiday quite regularly to North Wales in the 80s and the 1990s, and there were so many Farinas still bimbling around in the late 1980s. And yeah, it was a real treat to see lots of them. They've all but disappeared. Triumph 2000s were also a pretty common sight as well in North Wales, and I don't know, Conway, that kind of area. So maybe there was a dealership somewhere in the area, perhaps in Colwyn Bay, where there were quite a few car dealerships, I believe. But yeah, it was always neat to see these out and about, but nowadays you hardly ever see them over there now. Now I think this is the only pre-war car I've seen here today at Capesthorne. This great little Austin 10 Cambridge. It's a 4-door saloon, a bit bigger than your Rubies, the Austin 7s, and indeed the Austin 8s. So what years? 37? 6, is it? Right. So it's a Cambridge, isn't it?
Yes,
10 Cambridge, yeah.
That's the one.
Yeah, I was just saying, I think it's the only pre-war car here today.
Is it?
I think so, yeah.
I'll take that award then.
Yeah. Well, you've got some fitted luggage in the back. Oh, look at this. Look at this fitted trunk in the back here. Ooh, we like that kind of thing. So would that have been specific to these, do you think?
Yeah. Basically, we seem to have found with them that there was a few companies at the time that made that exact case for just these cars.
Right, yeah,
and
it just fits in right, doesn't
exactly,
it?
yeah.
Oh, that's great,
we've got an advertisement for them.
Have you?
From the time.
Wow,
it's quite interesting.
Wow. So have you had this one a long time then? Or?
No, to be honest, only a couple of months.
Right.
It's been unused for about 8 to 10 years.
Has it? Wow.
The previous owner did a lot to it and he sadly passed away, and it'd been parked.
So were you looking for something pre-war then?
Yeah,
oh, right,
yeah.
Cool. That's good.
Sort of always had a look out for one. I've got a Rover P4 as well. And,
have you? Oh, right.
An Austin Maxi, so I've got a few ends of
so
the
you've got a bit of everything there going on there, haven't you?
But a friend of mine's had one of these for a while, and I said to him, one day I'm determined to get one.
I like the back windows in them.
They're cool, aren't they? Yeah, I think it's a great little design.
Yeah.
So,
can we have a quick peek inside?
Of course you can, yeah, absolutely.
Have a quick peek inside. Yeah, super to see this little old Austin here. Austin of England. Yeah, there we go. Original seats, we like that kind of thing. Headlining been done? Looks like the headlining's been done at some point.
Yes,
Yeah, that's pretty neat. And you've got the little extra sockets here for sort of like a parking light or something. They've been added on. So the old clip-on parking lights that would have gone on top of the... Because legally you had to have a light on when you parked up at the side of the road. So you get those little parking lights. Yeah, pretty cool. Wind-out windscreen as well. So that's neat. So are these about 1100-ish?
Yes.
Something CC, aren't they? Something like that.
And they don't do, for what they are, they don't do too bad. You can't be in a rush.
No, but 40.
Yeah, that's it.
Is it happy at 40, is it?
Until there's a hill.
But being a 4-door makes it a bit more usable than like an Austin 7 and things, doesn't it?
Very much so, yeah. To be honest, I think they're really good value compared to
I think so. I think 10s are great.
Yeah.
I think they're great. Just a little bit bigger.
favourite look.
Oh, you got the little pop-up semaphore, yeah, and they work as well. Oh, you got flashes.
The modern flashes.
Oh, you got flashes in them as well. You used to be able to buy a conversion in the 50s to make them flash.
Really?
Yeah, I've got a leaflet somewhere.
Wow, that's cool.
But yeah, presumably that's like an LED sort of thing inside.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
really cool, that is, isn't it? So it just makes them stand out a bit more. But
Especially at night time.
Yeah.
It's really bright, but
yeah, that's cool.
I think people are still not used to looking for semaphores.
No. Well, there you go. But no, that's great. Great to see that one here today. Some nice badges on the front of this Austin 10 as well. So we've got Civil Service Motoring Association, RAFYC. I wonder what that is. The Veteran Motorist. Can't quite see that one. And another St Christopher over there. What's RAFYC?
I've not quite figured that out. I
Right.
do know that he was.
Looks sort of nautical, doesn't it?
Yeah, and he was a military man who owned the car last.
Was he? Right.
So I think
So
it's
it's an
to
anchor,
do with
isn't
his
it?
service.
Yeah, so it's an anchor and the wings as well, isn't it?
Yeah. He'd done. He was a engineer and mechanic.
Oh, right.
The army, I know that, but not quite sure.
Yeah.
You know, I know that he had a reputation that his wife told us that if he was ever whatever battalion he was going to be part of, you know they would get there because he would make sure the cars got there.
Oh,
So
see, right. No.
that was a good endorsement for his engineering.
Yeah,
Definitely.
No, lovely to see a bit of pre-war metal here today at Capesthorne. Next to the Morris 1300 is that incredible bullnose Saab, the little two-stroke Saab 96. What a fantastic little car. This is left-hand drive, and I do love the lamp on the top with the Le Mans 24 hours cover on it. Oof. Yeah, that's a very tasty period accessory, that kind of thing. Certainly gets my vote. Yeah, what a great little vehicle. Replica of the 1963 Rally Monte Carlo plate on the front. Of course, these things were super popular in rallying in the 1960s. Eric Carlson, etc. made their name rallying cars very, very similar to this. And the GT850s and the Monte Carlo versions. Yeah. Pretty cool. Got a period advert in there for this Saab 96. First overall RAC Rally 1960. First in class on the Monty 1961. First overall the Canadian Winter Rally and the Finnish Snow Rally. First, second and third overall in 1961. So that's pretty cool, and that is a Saab GB Great Britain Limited advertisement from the early 1960s. And Saab GB was the organisation when it was set up in the early 60s. They originally owned the two-stroke bullnose van that I used to have 30 plus years ago. There is a little video about that elsewhere on the channel if you like your classic Saabs. These are just such characterful little vehicles. You can see the aircraft symbol there on the mud flaps, and indeed the badge on the back. A reminder that Saab also made quite a variety of aircraft in the day. Bit of rally car action there. Yeah, there are quite a few lovely classic cars here today. Lots and lots of things. So let's see what else really stands out here today. All of this old stove.
Sounds a bit like my sister, but not I don't think anybody else does.
You've got orange side X, orange indicators, and then when you
Audi R8, Porsche 911 convertible over there.
XK120 is a bit nice, isn't it?
Yeah, and a Ford Thunderbird. Complete with the porthole hardtop.
Come on, keep coming. That's brilliant. Support.
Some of these sports cars have headed into the arena now, including This Jaguar and the big Healy alongside it. The very, very shiny Mazda MX-5 too, so something for everyone here in the arena perhaps.
Keep coming. This is fantastic. Keep coming.
Another XK140. And here we are in front of Capesthorne Hall itself. Jaguar is the featured marque, so they get to park in this wonderful location. Quite a lot of newish ones, but there are some older ones here fortunately, including this Daimler, the Daimler 66 based on the XJ Series 3. So that's got the HE engine in that one, the high efficiency, slightly more economical than the V12s that have come before. But economy, when you're talking about V12 Jaguars, it's all relative. But yeah, let's see what older Jags are here today. Here we have a Series 3 Roadster. Tucked away over here we have the Daimler version of the Series 2 XJ Coupe. Very nice. There's the XK engine, presumably 4.2, and this one is manual overdrive, so that must be a bit of a rarity. Yeah, if it left the factory like that.
70
Was there?
were made Daimler XJC manuals,
Right.
which is just the combination you wouldn't think.
Yeah, can't have been too many of those around. Must be very few left. Manual Daimler XJ Coupes.
Can't be many Daimler coupes at all though.
No. Yeah, very nice E-Type alongside that. Series 2 4.2 litre. I don't see too many yellow ones of these around. Here is a lovely Mark 9. Do like this era of Jaguars, the 7.8s and the Mark 9s. May 1960. Old English white, originally mist grey, upgraded to 4.2 litres. Originally this had the 3.8 in it.
Do you have a Mark 9 or Mark 8?
I'd have one of those, yeah.
A manual or auto? Yeah, V12 manual, wow.
I have to admit, I like to try and myself again because of my. And we've got a winner, folks. In second place, you can come back in under the different decade categories because we're going to be doing the pre-60s next. So, can we have you over on this section as well, please, sir? So, and the other Triumph behind it. That will be pre-1960s. Right. So all the vehicles manufactured before 1960. So it's 19 dot up to 1959, and the Jag is stopping with us as well. Pre-1960s, folks. Pre-1960s. Right, the Thunderbird stopping with us as well.
Here's that great Mark 1 console coming into the arena. Here comes that lovely MG Magnet with many, many badges on the front. And that incredible early VW Beetle. That really sets off the shape, a treat, that silver colour. I think it's Polar Silver. I was guessing at Polaris, but I think it's Polar.
Left-hand drive, Volkswagen Beetle. Lovely MG coming in.
There's that incredible Bel Air.
The American car coming in. Right, let's have you between the MG and the Jaguar, so come straight in. A nice big one. It's a Chev.
Here's the pre-war Austin 10, 1936.
And right. Keep coming. Excuse me, gentlemen. That's it, keep coming. Beautiful. 1960.
It's an incredible fair lane.
Anywhere in the world.
It's a Skyliner retractable, so the whole roof, the metal roof, folds back and lifts back and goes underneath that rear deck. Pretty incredible when you see those things doing their party piece.
Yeah. I did the best place, you know, was London.
There is the Skyliner putting away its metal hardtop. That is pretty incredible for the 1950s.
So does it not have a boot?
Well, it just has a tiny boot, but most of the boot space is taken up with the roof.
NBJ, and I call her Nellie Virginia Jones.
It's going back up again. Oh, there we go.
Linda, very innocently. Linda, just how did you acquire the vehicle?
How many motors and trip switches and things does this require?
Imagine restoring that.
Yeah.
50s electricity stuff.
Yeah, that must be.
I had a quick look round the auction at 11:45. And
Quite a few modern cars have similar roofs now, but this was back in the 1950s. Pretty incredible, these Ford Skyliners. Look at that.
Came up, I started bidding. I didn't have much time to look at it.
Isn't that incredible?
Obviously, I ended up owning the car, and I'd been told by various people it was a very good buy. It's a very rare car. There was only 46 made of the C-type cylinder head.
No grappling with vinyl roofs and pop studs on those.
Most were made to go to America.
Cars are departing the arena now, headed up by this incredible 50s Chevrolet Bel Air.
Right. I want a few strong men.
And there's the fair lane.
I want a few strong men. We've got the Jaguar XK120 here, the American version. It's got a mechanical problem, and we are not risking
There's
it.
the Triumph
So we
TR3A.
want some guys to come and help us push it out of the arena. We'll go over the top of that. Right. So come on, guys. I want 2 or 3 hefty, strong people to come and give us a push. All right. If you can, couple more. Mind your backs. And we've got a couple of people to hold it up as well. That's it. Right then. Well, it's too late. Right then. So, that was pre-1960s. Now let's have 1960 to 69. 1960 to 69. (1960 to 69) doesn't matter where it was made in the world, doesn't matter whether it's a sports car. From 1960 to 69, and we've got a Mark II Cortina coming. Keep coming straight. Yep.
The Mark II console is heading in now.
Mark II console coming in. Got to go back to the 60s, because we were in the early 60s.
Here comes the 122S. Is it going into the arena, I wonder? Cars of the 1960s, I think.
Coming in, I think that goes back to the 60s.
Are gathering.
You've got a Saab coming in again, back to the 60s. You've got a Comma, I think it's a Comma pickup.
E-Type over there, there's the forward control Comma. Yeah, happy memories of running Volvo Amazons many, many years ago now. The sun is shining, still a breeze, but it's not raining, that's the main thing. And there's that super little Herald.
Oh, hello you! 1960 to 69. Ken was just slammed the door.
There goes the Scepter.
Mark II Cortina, looking under the bonnet there, it is again immaculate. It didn't come out of Dagenham like that. It is fantastic. You could literally eat your breakfast off it, and you could fry an egg on the air cleaner. There's not not a speck of dust under that engine compartment there. Absolutely fabulous. Mark 1 Cortina coming in. Little Morris Minor.
Little two-stroke Saab 96.
These cars are incredible. You look under the bonnets and they're cleaner than my car, completely. Your case, Harrods,
I have a feeling that we've featured this Viva HB, this much modified Vauxhall Viva HB, at one of the Swettenham Arms evening meets last year. Pretty wild looking car. Here's an immaculate little Ford Escort Mark 1, still with its original reflective metal plates. Really like that kind of thing. Looks like it's been a bit of a project. Oh my goodness. Mark 1 Escort 1300E. So I'm assuming E is for executive, as on the Ford Cortinas. We've got some nasty looking stripes down the side. Some of the old Lucas rectangular lamps on the front as well. And again, despite being restored, the original plates have been retained, which is very, very good to see. That's good. Yeah, it's quite a rare sight now, that one. Here's that stunning Dino. The Ferodo Motorcycle and Light Car Club badge. Not seen that one before. Here is that Federal Spec Triumph Spitfire that I saw coming in earlier on. I wanted to have a closer look at these incredible American spec bumpers. These rear quarters look very similar to the UK market cars, but the middle bit, this big chunky chrome bumper, must be unique to these, and these big plastic or rubber protrusions.
That's quite cool.
Yeah, so left-hand drive.
It's in the STCA. I can't remember what it's called, but it's like cobras and stuff.
Yeah, that's pretty cool, being left-hand drive. It's got the extra marker lamps on the front and the back. And these incredible safety bumpers.
I would actually have this. I think it's quite cool.
Yeah, it's different, isn't it?
I'd do a couple of things to it. But
Seats are different pattern as well compared to
I like the
seats here. Not sure if the camera will pick that up, but yeah, pretty cool.
What did you think?
I've just realised I've not been over this side of the field at all. And here is that incredible Corvair panel van. I definitely wanted to have another close look at this incredible rear engine, flat six, nice double doors on the side. Yeah, amazing thing. I mean, the Corvair cars are pretty mad, but to make a van one with the engine underneath the rear floor is just... Oh, look at that. Oh, look at that. Yeah. Respect to the owner of this one. Thank you for buying a bit of merch. Flying the flag for OCC there, so big thanks and thumbs up for that. What an incredible van this is. Amazing. The Corvair 95.
Is that the style of it?
Here's that super 1947 Hudson that we saw just after we arrived here this morning. What an incredible machine. Like I say, same year as our pickup, but somewhat more opulent than our back to basics Dodge pickup that sat back at home, the Hudson Super 6.
Polish it, cover it up, sell it.
Quite an imposing looking motor car, this one.
I like it. Get your name, sir? John Reed. John.
There's an incredible Buick Electra over here. Look at this old 245. Wow, I remember these when they were current back in the 1970s. Really distinctive look. I was never entirely sold on the look of them, I must admit, when these were kind of everywhere. But now, such an unusual sight, especially with these circular headlights. I think the slightly more upmarket ones, this is a 245, so it's a 200 series. The 5 is the estate version. I think the GL possibly had the sort of square or rectangular headlights, like the 145. The back doors, I think, are off a saloon, hence they sort of tail down a little bit, which always looks a bit funny on an estate because the roof carries on. It's such a practical car. This one's super original and also on its original metal reflective plates, which look just perfect. Yeah. It's a rare survivor that is here in the UK now.
Right, here we go.
Plenty of Triumph Dolomites here today. Quite a few Sprints in amongst them.
That blue Sprint looks really nice.
Yeah, that's lovely, that, isn't it?
Vehicles that were manufactured between 1970 and 95. to 79. 1970 to 79. God, took me eye when it first drove in. This lovely blue Morris Trap. Awesome. Yeah, and start with your name.
That's very true.
Thank you.
And here's that super cool Alpine A110, one of the Spanish built cars, and these were an evolution of the old Renault 4CV, a car with which we are very familiar.
I think you missed one.
Down there. Now, every time it comes in with a Saab,
Big
There's a super little BSA Bantam here, 125cc.
These sound so good. They're so crisp.
so again, you have to spend a lot of time, patience. Cherry, get the rejected of cherry. That's it. I like this Plymouth. Who's the owner? Lucky owner. Is that you, sir? Yeah. I mean, that is.
Yeah, it was bought new in Canada by a Canadian owner, obviously. I've got all his details. And then in the late 90s, he brought it across here and stored it again over here until eventually he sold it, and hence the low mileage and the condition.
We're 2:30, so we're on track. Right, so we say goodbye to the 80s, 80 to 89, and we welcome into the arena the 90s. 1990, at the car of the show. So don't go away, folks. Stop with us and enjoy this gorgeous sunshine that we've been blessed with today, and take us right the way through to the car of the show, which we should be able to get through by about 3:30. 1990 to 1999. Judging. 1990 to 1999. You don't see them before, but that's better. Come in as many times as you like, so applicable. So the Jaguar's out there, 1990 to 1999. Let's have you in the ring. Keep coming up the front too. May just get a surge, you never know. And we could end up with 3 or 4 rows. Can you come up behind the Volvo estate car, sir? With the Volvo, with the Land Rover. Another little Nova there, Vauxhall Nova. Can you get in? There he's coming in, look at that, brilliant. That's it.
Off goes that sensational little Dino. That'll be taking it very carefully over the second speed hump of doom.
Right, now I'm standing by a blue BMW.
This place was for all the ages.
The DB5 is also leaving us.
You actually liked it then?
Yeah, I've always liked the E36.
Now, again, you said you've had it for 15 years, but it goes back to the 90s. So do you know much about the history?
Well, we have been so lucky with the weather today here at Capesthorne Hall. The forecast was looking a little bit shaky, but apart from a stiff breeze, it's been pretty lovely and the turnout has been excellent. Off goes the little Thames 307E.
Making it on board, and is it just a show car or do you use it on a regular basis?
I think if the mileage wasn't as it was, I'd probably...
Sort of maintenance and is it easy?
Yeah, there's a little forum down there, to be able to get in contact with the right people. Thank you very much.
Right. To classicshows.org and you'll get the website come up and have a look at us. It tells you all about the events that we've got coming up in 2025 and you can also book online. If you book online, it is slightly cheaper.
And now the mad scrum to vacate the arena. These are the 1990s cars just heading off.
As you reverse out, you don't want any accidents. I don't think we ever have had an accident with vehicles manoeuvring around the arena. We've had one to outside the arena, I think. There's some fabulous vehicles here. Really are.
That way, yeah.
Well, Ford Consul Mark 1 and Mark 2, the latter appears to be heading off now. Engine just fired up, so I think we will probably start to do the same. So thank you so much for watching this particular video. Don't forget to give it a like, subscribe if you haven't done already, keep an eye on the channel because there'll be loads more classic car videos along very, very soon. Bye for now.
What else we've got on it? We got a Audi.